Hello and welcome to What's on the Tape, where I take tapes from 40 years ago that originally worked on a ZX Spectrum and were probably special versions, and see whether we can load them now. Right, so we have two tapes here. We have the CompuTape. We've seen these before, actually. These have turned up many a times on previous seasons of What's on the Tape. But this one's got some interesting ones on. Attic Attack, of course, being the game from the Ultimate Play the Game people, who ultimately became Rare, who are owned by Microsoft at the moment, I believe. And then we've got a few other ones. We've got Frenzy, which is a Quicksilver game, which appeared, way back in the mid-80s, sort of 83, 84. Frenzy is very much Berserk. It's a copy of that. Meteor Storm, I think, is an asteroid-style clone. I'm not sure about Astroblaster, but I suspect that's an asteroid blasting game. But the one that really caught my eye, and the reason why I chose these particular tapes, was this one, because we got Woods of the Winter. I've not played that one before, and Transylvanian Tower. But also worth noting, we got the old W.H. Smith's tape. This is back in the days when W.H. Smith's was orange and brown rather than the blue and white that we know it today. So, without further ado, let's get one of these into a tape drive. Okay, the tape is in the drive, so we'll go down to our usual one, which is basic and load it, and see if we can get this thing to load, or load speech marks. We'll see if we can get Attic Attack to go. Attic Attack, a game. This is one of my favourites back in the day. I'll be absolutely honest. This was really was one of my favourites as a kid. I had this and I bought it, and it had that sort of purple edge to it. It was a single jewel, so a single case. Purple edge to the whole thing, and on the front it had a little sort of weird sort of, I guess, cult-like figure with sort of glowing eyes and a purple outfit. Sort of. I think he had a wand, didn't he? This is not what we think it is, by the way. First off, this is typical. This is prime What's on the Tape in the sense of. First off, that's not the game that says it is. So that said Cent on the top of it. Is this going to be Centipede instead? Yeah, we're going to have Centipede instead. Well, anyway, but I was going to say that it wasn't one of the prime games was the whole thing. And it's Centipede because I can see by the DK-tronics. DK-tronics made a Centipede clone. It's not one of the better ones, but it's okay. So this is the yeah, that's how I know. But anyway, yeah, but Attic Attack, classic game, remade not that long ago for the Commodore 64. If you want to see that, have a look on the channel. It's there. I think I've even got the Amstrad CPC remake that was remade as well. They're actually really good remakes as well. I don't really want to say that in front of us lovely Spectrum people, but they were pretty good, to be honest. They added to it and built on the theme, certainly on the Commodore 64 version. I think the Amstrad CPC is also slightly larger as well, which is a bit, I know it's disappointing, isn't it? Because it was a top tier game back in the day. You know, that was we had that and they didn't have that, so we were cooler for a significant length of time until about a couple of years ago when they made their own version of it. But it's not the same. They didn't sell as many copies, of course, because it's free. But other than that, it's fine. But Centipede, this is good old-fashioned. Nothing on the screen. What's going on? I can't see anything. It's all gone blank. Reset Spectrum? All went blank there. What happened? Let's try it again. As I say, top tier sort of game, that one. But this one, for some reason, this is what I love about What's on the Tape. This is the reason why most people come. And if you've been here before, you know exactly how this goes. It's usually our tape errors, faults, and not working. Trying to get the games to load, but they're not going at all. Or alternatively, I'm loading them from something called PlayZX, which is in the description below, which is an app that you can use on an Android device. I think it's on Apple, but I'm not sure. Probably isn't. But to be fair, you need a headphone socket. You know, one of those things you got rid of. So you need one of those to do it. But yeah, Centipede. People always. It's a funny one. This we describe. You know, Space Invaders as Space Invaders, but it's a shoot 'em up. But we describe it as Space Invaders because it's one of the earliest, so it gets its own title. It is unique in that format. Centipede is a shoot 'em up. And it's also unique because it gets the name Centipede. It transcends what became a genre of games, a shoot 'em up of some sort. You know, horizontal, vertical, stationary in the sense of the other things. Even Missile Command is a variation of a shoot 'em up. But it's Missile Command. If you're, I mean, to be fair, it's amazing to think that Atari did so badly, considering in a world where EA has just been bought by a whole bunch of venture capitalists and some of the Trumps. Don't buy games from EA anymore. Just vote with your wallops. Vote with your wallops. Yeah, punch everybody who give them a walloping. But the point is, yeah, vote with your wallets on that one. But the point is, these games were so good. And yet, Atari, which still exists, it's just a shadow of its former self, though, isn't it? It's not the same. It's not the same thing. It's not where it used to be or where it should be. It just should be more, but it's not. And they had the opportunity to become probably one of the world's sort of greatest development houses. Am I just waiting for something to happen here? Because that's just gone black again. There's a gap on the tape. There's a gap on the tape. That's what's going on here. You can hear it now. There's a gap on the tape. Brilliant. So it wasn't the complete version of it. Right, well, we need to get PlayZX. And like an idiot, I've forgotten to get my tape adapter thing. So let me just go grab that, right? You just stay there. Sit. Right, good. Stay. I'm coming. I'm running all the way. I'll be back in a second. You stay there. Okay, hang on. I'm coming back. Whew, you didn't miss anything. You just behaved yourselves as well while I was waiting. Anyway, welcome back to those who have been here before, and welcome to anybody who's new. It'd be nice for you to you can push the subscribe button now, and then you never miss another episode. That would be good, wouldn't it? Oh God, I sound like one of them YouTubers. Yeah. Right, okay, where are we? We got my tape adapter. So this is my little device for doing it. I did a video on this, on the tape adapter. It got a few people viewed it. It's handy. It's very useful indeed. You know, it allows you to still experience the loading of a tape without actually having to have the tape itself. You just have a file that loads and goes for it. Let's see if we can find this DK-Tronics version of this. Let's give it a go. Let's push the button there. Problem is they've changed the app slightly now and it locks the screen, which is really annoying. Let me see if I can find it. PlayZX. Play. It's definitely on my phone. There we go. Right, let's see if we can find Centipede now on the whole thing. Quick search. I'm sure it's here. It also allows you to play Homebrew, which is actually quite good as well, and load them properly so you can see the loading screens that are often created by well-known members of the ZX Spectrum community. Okay, Centipede. Centipede. There we go. Centipede. Sinclair user. DK-Tronics version. 16K. I found the version. Next. Right. Let's press the play button. There we go. Got to tap the screen occasionally though to make sure it doesn't do anything. Just make sure it doesn't move around. It's ridiculous, this bit, because you have to kind of keep tapping the screen of the device. Before, it used to stay open permanently, so you could just leave it and it would be fine, but now you have to keep pressing the buttons to make sure it does what it's doing. It's going for it. There's so many centipedes, though. On this page alone of the whole thing, there's Sinclair users, 17 seconds to load it. We've got this one, which is the DK-Tronics version of it, 1983. There was a 1982 version. There was a second release. We're on the second release that we're loading here. We've got... Oh, it's crashed. Hang on, somebody's trying to phone me there. Pause. Rewind. Set to rewind. Let's do this again. Hang on. Let's see if we can load it. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me in the middle of that. There we go. Let's go for it. Let's give it a go again. Let's load it again. But there's also versions. Oh, there's all kinds from EMM Software, aka Pod. Never even heard of them. 1983 as well. Yeah, it's quite a few. It's quite a list, actually. Centipede. Lots of them. This isn't a complete list, by the way, on PlayZX. PlayZX is basically just an app that allows you to sort of have a sort of a few that are sort of allowed to be sort of loaded and legally loaded, because there's still IP attached to quite a lot of this nowadays. Sorry about that. Just closing a door. A lot of noise coming from somewhere. Shouldn't be. That's fine. Let's just get rid of the noise. Yeah, there's no need for the noise. Right, okay, 40 seconds. Loading. It's loading. Okay. 1 minute 40. That's how long it takes to load. Quite a short game. Well, it should be, though. It's only 16k. To be fair, the fastest game I've ever seen loading is Eric and the Floaters, which is a variation of Bomberman from Hudson Software that was released by Sinclair. And it's a great game, and it just loads in like it literally you get the header of the file, the start of the file, the load of the file, and it's on the screen. And I've never seen a game load so quickly. It's amazing. It's really good sort of coding, I guess. So amazing stuff. Right. We're almost there to Centipede loading. As I say, this is definitely... Oh, there we go. That's how it's meant to appear when it's done. Right, let's pop this out of here quickly. So the keys are obviously the old cursor keys there. Showed them on the screen. Let's get them. Let's get on there. I'm going to guess this tape hasn't got anything else on it, realistically, or this side anyway. The tape hasn't got anything on it. So 6, 7 is left and right. 8, 9 is up and down. Sort of cursor keys. How do I start the game? What's the start button? Go and show me the start button. S to start. S to start. We are here. So this is one where I think... Yeah. Oh, God, there's a spider going across. I like the fact that they bounce off the mushrooms, and when they die, they turn into mushrooms as well. So there's like little mushroom bodies are basically the various... Oh, have I got the right up and down here? I don't feel like I'm going up or down. Oh, it's because the up and down is... Oh, right, I'm already down. It's basically the answer to that. Oh, no. I couldn't move up. I was just smashed into the bottom of there. Just couldn't move up. Right, that's up. There we go. Right, okay, let's shoot these things. These are very popular back in the day, these shoot-em-ups, and they were. I mean, the thing is, it's a little bit of gardening going on here, you know, mushrooms and other things. Very, very... Yeah. Let's see if we can get this last one. Oh my God, I can't get him. He's come down the top of the screen at least. Is that what they did? I thought they just bounced around at the bottom forever. Got it. So that's the first screen cleared, and then usually you get more and more. It's a great little game. It's not a bad version, actually, to be honest, the DK-Tronics one. I don't think it's very expensive to find at the moment. It's one of those. I think it's a shelf filler. Enough people bought it that it sort of there's plenty of them. It's a bit like the Codemaster stuff. There's quite a lot of that, but unfortunately, Codemasters don't allow you to sort of use them like from PlayZX, but you can, but you can't. So you know. Right. Okay. Let's move on quickly. Push the button. We'll go down to basic and load it, and we'll see whether or not we've got anything else on this tape that loads. No, that's more of the old. That must be Attic Attack, as it didn't work. So typical of this, by the way. Usually, what you get with the first sort of one of a new sort of run of what's on the tape, and to be fair, you can watch them in any order. They're just generally me chatting most of the time. So if you're new, feel free to choose any of them. They're just silly fun. So often with a very serious. No, there's no serious content here at all. It's just a lot of nostalgia normally, and a bit of me whinging about the current state of gaming industry. I could probably do a video on that by itself, but I don't. So. Right, just moving on. Nope, that's it. Turned it over. There's nothing more on there. Oh, maybe there is. Hang on. There's some loading. No, that's the end. That's the end. I recognise this. It has what they had on the end of the Ultimate games. They had like this countdown. It's like 1, 2, 3, 3 bytes. Yeah, see. So 1, 2, 3 bytes, and then then it finally loads. So this is our final load here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then we're moving on. What are we doing? I've got coffee, by the way. I hope you've got a beverage, because I always have coffee. That's not true. If you watched this before, you know that I don't always have coffee. Sometimes I have a nice, a refreshing beverage, depending on what it is. I'm still working on the contract with at this point in time, Dow Edwards. At some point, it'll happen. Okay, this sounds like silence. Sometimes you get Ghosts of the Past. I actually do really like it, you know, when we find the voices of people who have been there before. You know, from adults to children who have been who've recorded onto the tape. You know, the between things. So my favourite are the people who do the where they do the name of the program before each one. So you fast forward and it says the name of the program. So it'd be like Centipede or Attic Attack, and they used to say that before each one. It's kind of cool. So based on the fact that we've not had Centipede on that one, there is a good chance this won't be Frenzy. And if it is Frenzy, it'll be Bites. No, that didn't look good. Try that again. Very bad. Here, listen to the rumble in the background there. That's poor. That's bad data, that. No, that's bad. There's an echo as well. I can hear this echo that's on there. There's an echo in the background. No, it's not going. We're not going. Right, okay, let's pop this in here. I actually have Frenzy. I rather like it. It's like a massive on the front cover. It's a sort of an orangey sort of inlay, and it basically has sort of a sort of robot being blown to pieces, but it's not exactly blown pieces. It's sort of being hit by something that sort of bounce, you know, sort of expanding him outwards. It's sort of a very rotund, large robot that's been sort of forced apart, basically. I'm going to try it in the other tape deck. We'll give this a try. This sometimes works. Because you turn up the volume in the other tape deck. You can't do that on a +2. Even the grey ones. I do like the +2 grey, by the way. Probably, I know. I should really say a toast rack. I don't know if you're a Spectrum fan, you probably don't believe what I'm saying here, but I should be the toast rack. But I really like the +2, the grey ones particularly, because the grey one is more of a Spectrum board. It's less Amstradized. It's a different chipset. If that, not this different chipset or the reduced chipset that they put into the black one that was later there. I'm trying here, but it's not having it. Right, okay. Let's see if I can find Frenzy on my phone. Because we want to play Frenzy, and then we'll try fast forward and see if we can get to the next one. Right, we'll give it a try. 1 second. Oh, going for it. Let's see. Get that back in my phone. Oh, making noise. Frenzy. Frenzy. It's quite a good game, actually, this one. It's not a bad take on it. It's one of the few games, one of the first games that I managed to load without... Let's see. This Quicksilver version. Is it byte? Is it code? Load code? Yes, it is. Stop. Right, so we've got to do a load code on this one. Let's go back. Rewind to the beginning. Set rewind. Okay, so break. Load, and extended mode code, because it's just code. They did games like this, and then it was really confusing for a lot of people, because you had games where you had to load the code, and it is sometimes also just to load the code rather than anything else. So it's just machine code rather than a program at the beginning, which is usually basic, and that basic program acted as your loader for your Frenzy or whatever else it was. But I do like this. I think this is one of these. I think it's quite a good little shooter, realistically. Might even have a copy handy. I think a copy of them was sent to me one Christmas by a wonderful fella called Darryl, who sent it to me. And I think it's because, and this goes way back, by the way, to the early days of What's on the Tape. I think I'd managed to get Frenzy to load by not doing the main code or doing something else, and I managed to get it to load by doing load code and whatever else is, and it had loaded, and I think he sent me the Frenzy because of that. I'm pretty convinced of that, actually. That's very kind. There we go. Loaded already. What's the keys? Is that enter? Controls are... Okay, good. 6, 7... They're obsessed by moving these keys over. 6, 7, 8 up, 9 down, 0 fire. What's to start? Is it S? S is to start. Here we go. So we're the little man in here, and basically we score points from killing things and don't run to the walls because they're dangerous. And we basically score points by shooting robots. Ow! Why do I keep doing that? I'm not very clever. So we're a little man here, and they got to kill the robots. Oh god! Shoot him. You can only shoot one shot until it hits its target. So that flying across the screen there is not helping me at all. And then you get chased by that thing, and you have to go out of the room to avoid being killed, which is exactly the same as Berserk. But I think the big thing for Berserk was when it was in the arcade originally, they used to. I think it used to shout Berserk, and I went down on sort of up there. I think it used to shout Berserk as you killed things. It was game over. Very unexciting. Great score. Yeah, I got a very good score and a very good sort of record. There, perfect. Okay. S to go. Let's do this. What? Up. Ah! 5 points per one, actually, though. I didn't realise that was all it was. I don't know what you get if you clear the whole room, because I don't think I've ever cleared the whole room. There are modern-day versions of this created by indie developers, actually. I can't remember the name of the company, but they certainly have created modern-day versions of it. And they're quite good. I'll be honest, they're quite good. I am shooting all things. And I just ran into him by mistake instead of going upwards. That's pretty good. It's not a bad little game. Move to the next level. New maze. And that's basically it. But if it's a 16K game and you're back in the 80s, games are sort of still quite relatively, basic and simplistic. That simple arcade game is just perfect. It's just all you need. And that also it has a very long song before you put your name into the high score table. But you could see yourself playing that with friends, to be honest with you. That's one of those games that you really kind of need to play with friends. It's perfect. 1982, so basically the birth of the ZX Spectrum, when it was released in the UK. That's when this came out. It probably sold extremely well. Quicksilver certainly would have done all right. I wonder if they still exist. I know there is a Quicksilver, but I don't know if it's the same Quicksilver. There's definitely one of those out there. This is that's the load code for it. See if we can get to Meteor Storm and see if Meteor Storm will do it. This should be also a Quicksilver game, Meteor Storm. Right, going for it. I can hear the rumble in the background of it. It just means the tape's very rough on this side. Well, at least we've got the Meteor bit there, but we need to do a break, because again, another load code. Tell you what, when I first saw the first load code when I was a kid, I honestly, I had no idea how to play it, and also, it's extended mode and whatever else it is, and I had a rubber key Spectrum which required pressing different buttons to get the extended mode to happen, so it was like, you press like the cap shift and something else, if I remember rightly from experience, and you had to push like 2 buttons together just to get the extended mode, then it would do the little E so you could do the code. I mean, seriously, if code was going to be such an important thing about loading stuff, why was it not just like the load key? But it wasn't. It was an extended mode thing. It was really difficult to sort of do. But anyway, this should be Quicksilver as well. Fingers crossed. That's back on the tape, though, of course. I've got my coffee. I hope you've got a coffee. I hope you've got a beverage. How long have you all been? How long have you all been? Are you very long? Are you very tall? Now, how have you all been since I've been away? I've been away for a couple of weeks. I always take a little break in between these things just to sort of recharge, do some more videos. Do bits and pieces, and in this case, we've had a reshuffle on the channel. If you've not been there, we've sort of had a little look around and change things. I'm going to press the S key because that should be start. It is, and it speaks, and that's me shooting in the middle here. Don't want to move too much, but I am. Oh my god! I hate moving in these games because you end up getting blown to pieces. If I start moving, that's the zap button. I didn't want the zap. There's a move button. There's the move. Oh my goodness! Then we get a bit of, bit of. Oh my goodness! This is gonna go. It can only go badly. Oh my goodness! I should have been died there. I was zapped somewhere else. That's me beaming. Basically a variation of the original Asteroids again from Atari. Company responsible for some of the greatest 8-bit games back in the day. Oh, we've done it. We've finished it. And then we move on to our next set of Asteroids. Shoot away, my little friends. Shoot. This has been a Spectrum Atari special, hasn't it? Oh, good grief! Well, the explosion's good though. There's so many good games that are coming around nowadays with this. I've decided to, as well as a little bit of a change as well, I'm breaking up the, if you've watched previously the pickup videos, or parts of the pickups that I put into the beginning of this, they're going to be moved to their own separate thing, and we're going to divide them up into what they are, if that makes sense. So, Spectrum stuff with Spectrum stuff and all this kind of stuff. So, you're going to see that as well. It's all exciting, by the way, because if you've not noticed, you're getting a channel where things are sort of now scheduled better and things like that. It's like, my God, it's like I've actually put a bit of attention into it. only sometimes, all right. This level of quality is never going to come around ever again. I promise you, it's never. We're never gonna do that. It's definitely a once in a generational thing. You're never going to see this level of quality again. I'm not quite PewDiePie. I can't retire yet. Or is it this? Oh, nowadays there's other people's, aren't they? What's that fella? Mr. Oh, whatever he's called. Yeah, yes, Beast, Mr. Beast. What a stupid name. Yeah, he's around. So yeah, he's a beast. I can't speak though. I've got my name's RealGenericDemon. I mean, I can't really. On my sort of handle is that. It's probably just this. I don't know. I don't even know what he does. I don't think I've ever watched his channel, to be honest. I've never watched it. Apparently, lots of people watch it. I don't know what I don't know what the definition of interesting channels is really. I like a little bit of the sort of I guess am I boring? Some news stuff. I like channels that talk about indie games and Spectrum stuff. Those are the things I kind of follow, and people I know, some lovely people I know who are also do YouTube channels, and when they do their pickup videos or they do their bits and pieces, I really like those. I really like watching those. Those videos are really, really good. Okay. K for keyboard. Astroblaster by John Ward. Mission controls are 6, 7, 0 fire, and oh, it's a shoot 'em up. It's another Quicksilver one. We're proper going for it with the Quicksilver stuff. S to start. Come on then. Yeah, I've played this one before. I like this one. It's basically a variation on Space Invaders. They were very good at cloning stuff back in the day. Nobody was getting sued for it, except for the fact that apparently they did towards the end of the 80s, particularly Tetris. But that was, I think, a governmental thing to do with the fact that it came from Russia. But it didn't seem like anybody was suing anybody for these. How did they get away with it? I don't know. But I can't tap the fire button. They're firing little shots at me. I am Space Invader. I love these. I do. Do you know what? I've said this before many a times about the Spectrum. I do love to see the Spectrum with a single screen shooter. They really are quite good with it. Moon Patrol always comes to mind for me. Oh, I've just got to avoid the rocks and not get killed. This is a harsh level. Yeah, keep shooting at me. I will shoot a rock formation through you. Am I meant to be killing all these? I hope not, because that's harsh. If I am. No, that's good. We're done. What's this thing? Whatever it was, it died very quickly. And these are more aliens. More aliens. We got more green aliens. It's all going on. Astroblaster. Why does that ring a bell with me? Is this one of these games that somebody found recently? Right, okay, so the Spectrum has, what, 17, 18,000 different gaming titles. Not talking about applications. And many of them were lost in action or missing in action. I actually own a missing in action game. I feel quite privileged to do so. It's not very exciting. It's just, what's it called? I'll find it for you at some point. But basically, I own one of these missing in action games. I'm pretty convinced. I may be wrong. You can tell me in the comments below. I'm pretty convinced that's one of the missing games. That Astroblaster, or maybe it isn't. Oh, I don't know. I can't. I'll have to Google it. But I feel like it. But I feel like it's very similar to one that was missing in action. If it isn't the missing in action game, so it was one that was very similar that was missing in action, and it was found in all places Sweden, and it has been since then uploaded and put online so that people can keep this. The best thing about collectors, the greatest thing about collectors, if you're a collector, you'll understand this. The greatest thing about being a collector is we're responsible for retaining the past. We have all of the stuff in our collections. We have all of the games. I'm going to see if I can load anything else on this tape while we're doing this. Well, we there might be. We have. I've just fast forwarded that by mistake a little bit there, but I might be something here. We have all of the stuff in our collections. Right, it's not loading though, so let's try it again. But we have it all. We're history. We've got the history. This one I'm loading right now. This is the history. This is the history of computing in Great Britain. With one of the greatest inventors that doesn't get the recognition that he should. This is Sir Clive Sinclair, one of the greatest inventors, should be taught in British schools because he's such a great inventor. Really should. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll say this so many times about it, but the man invented a whole kinds of things, including miniaturization, that was way ahead, in his own words, of the Japanese. He was way ahead with miniaturization. He was way ahead with sort of digital clocks, digital calculators. I guess radios. I'm not sure about the radio element of it. You can tell me in the comments below. But radios, way ahead. With home computing. I mean, you've got to give him credit for a lot of things here. It's really important. Spectrum is a beautiful example of that. Cheap home computing. He brought it to the masses. 5 million people in the UK purchased a ZX Spectrum. And that doesn't include how it escaped out into to many of the Eastern European countries because of its cheap infrastructure, its design and cheap sort of make. I mean, for the cheapness, we're not getting anything here. There's other things on here, but they're not coming. No, it's not happening. There are other things on here, very short things, but they're not working. Let's see if we can get something else to work here. Oh, history. History. Humans. There's humans. Hang on. We need to get the tape thing here. Let's get the tape thing. We need humans. We have human voices. Did you hear that? There was a little bit there. Let's get the humans. There's the ghosts. I did ask for ghosts. And I got ghosts. Let's see. Let's hopefully hope they don't say anything horrible or naughty. I don't think they will. They sounded like young little humans. Little humans. Take out the thing that's connected to that. Here we go. And that was it. There was a little bit of noise and a little human. I did say I was looking forward to a bit of human interaction on this, a bit of a something else going on. It did happen. Ultimately, a bit of ghosts of the past. We kind of like that. So they haven't been heard in 40 odd years. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's get the other tape out. Let's get this tape out of this deck. Let's get this new one in. Let's get it in. So this is what's rewound. It looks like Transylvanian Tower is rewound. I'm pretty sure this is a one that came on a multi-combination from EMI. EMI at some point. Thorn EMI. They're also music producers, I guess. I think they did a little selection of games with these things on. Right. We are rewound, and I'm pushing the button. We're going for it. Well, actually, you know something. I thought that would be longer there because we had a little bit of history there, a little bit of things going on. I thought it would take a bit longer than that. Take a little bit longer. We had 6 games, 5 more games thus far. Tower is a. This might not be the tower I'm thinking of. This might be another Quicksilver game. Load dit code. Lots of load dit codes. I should have known that. It's written on the front blooming side of the box. Load dit tower dit code. Yeah, well we'll just load tower instead. It's good. It's very good. Anyway, right, okay, so while I've been away, they always leave this till I go away. Why do they do this when I'm away? Why do they do this when I'm away? We got EA being purchased by a lot of money peoples in Saudi Arabia, including some of the Trump family. So EA is sold for 50 billion, puts itself in debt for 20 billion to do that, because that's how it works. The company's now worth, so they want some of their money back straight away. The plan is to use nothing but AI to generate all the games of the future. Good luck with that, because the thing about AI is, and I don't dislike it by the way, the thing about AI is that if you don't know how to edit it properly, it's gonna look crap. So that's fine. Just go for it. You've just had a huge success with Battlefield 6. You've sold 7 million copies, is it? Some stupid number like that they've just sold of Battlefield 6, and I'm not going to disagree, because they basically took a formula that worked way back when I was a Battlefield player. Yes, I was at one point. I even played with EA and the DICE team. It was part of my sort of just one of those things that I did back in the day. I'd met them through competition and other things, and I used to play with the developers and devs for fun. Sometimes in competition, but for fun. Back in the days when you didn't make very much money from it, or you didn't make anything from it, should I say. So I played both them back then. I know you're all sitting back in shock, seeing how badly I play on the 20p Super 20p Arcade Challenge. I was pretty tasty at Battlefield back in the day. But I'm looking at it and I'm going, right, so what you've done is you've rewound the clock, and you've basically brought back Battlefield 3 and 4 Battlefield 3 in Battlefield 6, was Battlefield 3 was peak for me. It was a peak sort of game for playing. I was playing it back when it was first out. That was when I was playing with Dice and Co. And it was a peak game for me. I genuinely was. I will not be buying Battlefield 6 because if you've got a Windows 11, it mucks with it. If you use Linux, it doesn't install at all, apparently. So I'm not going to play with that. Play the game. I'm also not going to buy it for 70 quid because I think that's wrong. I think the value is too high. People are going to argue, but we do this, that, and the other. No. They're going to put microtransactions in it, and they're going to put DLC in it. And although, as long as the DLC is worth it, fine. But all these people who are grinding out getting weapons, there's going to be somebody who comes along, pays 50 quid to buy the top end set of weapons to begin with. It's the way they do it. They do it every time. And even did it in Battlefield 3 if you go back to those days. And that was really me done at that point. And to be fair, also my reactions were going. I was getting a bit older. I'm a little bit worried. I'll be honest. I'm worried about what's happening with EA. I think this is a worrying trend. A lot of things have gone that way. SNK has, and although I'm an absolute lover of SNK's IP, SNK is also now owned by a Saudi Arabian group, and it is a worrying trend that we've got going on there. So yeah, $50 billion. I think that was the highest transaction, or $55 billion. It was higher than Microsoft's of Activision and Bethesda. But you know what they're trying to buy, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it aloud. Let's whisper it to you. I'll whisper it to you. They're trying to buy success, but they're just going to lay everybody off in between everything. Nobody's job's safe there. They're trying to buy success. They're trying to buy IP so that it's success. It doesn't buy success. I've got on my channel, you'll find it, something called Megabonk. Megabonk had 120,000 active players, written by a single indie dev, sold 1 million copies plus. And EA is worrying, and EA is wondering about things like they can't buy success, they can't buy creativity. They think they can by bugging in AI slop. It just doesn't work that way. That slop got that information from somebody in the first place. You do not buy success. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the reason Battlefield is winning and why they probably bought it this time is because Battlefield was already on a winner. This, I'm sure we've played this before. Anyway, your quest is to reach the top of the tower, kill Count Keep Eye, and raid his secret treasures. Well, I would like to raid his treasures. However, you must find your way through 500 rooms of the tower, but watch out for bats. Right, bats are the big thing here. You have a gun to kill the bats, but only 10 bullets. Will you find the objects to help you? You can only hold a maximum of 3 of these. Press any key. Press any key, space. I can't find the any key. Haha. Yeah, okay. Moving from room to room, use the cursor keys. Yep, directions. Press 6 to turns you round 360 degrees. Why am I going right the way around in a circle? Spin me right round. Anyway, 90 degrees to retrace your steps. Press H for a floor plan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've played this before. Oh, look at his smiley face. He's very happy. Pretty horrible. No, it's not horrible. No. Yes, there he is. First level of the tower. There are no bats. Right, okay. You're being transported there, i.e. working out what the level looks like. You only have 30 minutes remaining to do this. Oh. This is the one, I think, where you can take a picture of the screen, because I think it flashes up on the screen so you can see what's going on. Yeah. I want to go. Press a button. I'm pushing buttons. I'm waiting for it to do something. It's doing something. It's making beeping noises. Yeah, okay. S, H, space, enter. We're beeping. It's kind of, it's almost apt, isn't it? We're in October and we've got something spooky going on. I've got some good stuff to show you, by the way. We're gonna call the new series, and I'm to be fair, I'm saying it now. Thank you to Jason, who's been helping me out with this rescheduling and things of my channel. I've already noticed differences in what people are viewing and how they're viewing. So thank you very much for that, Jason. And Jason suggested this title for the pickups because I suggest we strip them out after having a little conversation. And he suggested, "What's in the wild?" Huh? I like it. It's gonna have me as like the lion from MGM going roar when it starts. I don't know why this isn't starting, by the way. I'm really bored. Come on, push buttons. Go. What are you doing? It's beeping at me. Push a button. I'm pushing buttons. It's not happening. I pressed the brake button and it just exploded. Typical. Right, other side. Oh, so I do hope you're enjoying the new format. I think or the new sort of new things. It's not that new. It's still the same blooming average content. You know, it's not gonna change overnight. It's still me talking about rubbish. Just see if there's anything else on tape before we fast forward on. Well, that worked well, didn't it? Have you ever played was it Transylvanian Tower? I was going to say Hotel Transylvania. It's actually quite a nice cartoon, that one. I quite enjoyed that one. Well, the kids did as well, so it's quite a nice one. But have you ever played Transylvanian Tower? Have you ever got past that part and then pressed the escape key and then break key and then had it go pop? Right, okay, so that tape's nothing more on there. What have we got? Woods of Winter. This one I've not played. I'm absolutely convinced this has not appeared on What's on Tape before, which is always a good thing because we like new things. Just make sure that's rewound. I think it's rewound. Are we round? Oh, I don't know. Let's just rewind it again. We are rewinding. Yeah, so anyway, a worrying trend here is with the AAA companies. Do you know what though? The general gist of it is, and this is what I expect, because it's been bought by investment houses for the most part, they're going to rip it apart. So whatever's left, the only thing they'll keep is Battlefield and a few other titles that, probably Sims, because they're, EA's own Sims. Everything else is gone. The PopCap stuff they bought years ago, that'll be shredded. That'll be, all the layoffs will occur there at EA. Honestly, they'll be cost cutting right now. They're stripping the place of assets. The history. It's not going to be the same EA. This thing is gonna go. Without a doubt, this is what's going to happen. It's going to strip it all out. Microsoft did it with some of their titles that worked on Game Pass, and they're stripping it. Microsoft and Game Pass, I told you so. I want a button that says I told you so, and I'm not going to tell you again, but Game Pass was also a thing that happened recently as well. They doubled the price in most cases for Game Pass. Now added a point system to it. They've got a point system for it. It's Tesco's of computer gaming, and it annoys the absolute things off me. I'm so annoyed for gamers. I am so annoyed for us all, because we're in Winters in the Woods. This is CRL, or Computer Rentals. I'm going to do this first before I get really annoyed about Microsoft. Right, what's it? Andrew Patrick. In the adventure, you find yourself in a world of fantasy. Always. The computer will begin by asking you if you want to restore a game. If you have no game on the tape and don't want to reply no, okay. It will draw a map on the top part of the screen. On the map, it will show the locations by graphic pictures. Location with red paths, current locations, flashing, blah, blah, blah. Prompt, I'm getting bored now. Take hammer, pull sword from stone. Oh, right, we're doing this Excalibur, are we? Okay. King Arthur. East, west, yeah, perfect. Help, inventory, finish, drop, take, save, common words, inventory. Symbol shift and T at any time to see your location. That's fine. Press play on the tape. Anyway, so Microsoft, they increase the prices, they do all these things. I told you it was coming. I'm not really sorry. I feel like I've told people that it was coming. It's not you particularly, because most of us are all gamers anyway. We don't really care about this kind of stuff. But those of us who do, it was bound to come. They made no money on things like Dark Ages. They spent billions of dollars. Was it $40 billion on acquiring Bethesda and Activision and what's the other one? Blizzard. They bought all of these companies. They spent all this stupid amounts of money on it. Then they say, everybody buy a Game Pass. But they didn't. What happened is nobody bought everybody bought the $1 or £1 Game Pass for a month. Downloaded Dark Ages for nothing, because you can't do that anymore, by the way. If you want the premier games out when they come out now, you have to pay for an ultimate package. They bought the package for £1. They played Dark Ages, and then when it uninstalled, they didn't care. It cost £1 for Dark Ages. Dark Ages was £1. A game that they spent probably, considering the previous incarnation of Doom, cost almost $200 million because it went over budget. The newest version, without a doubt, is close to that, if not more. I estimated the revenue, because of the fact that they did it via Game Pass and other things, at something stupid, like they took 50 million or something similar. They spent 200 to make 50, to make 2 or 3 more subscribers, probably. Even if it was a couple of thousand long-time subscribers to Game Pass. And now they've upped the prices. The Xbox is dead. They realised this when they sold Helldivers 2 on the Xbox, and it became the top-selling game of all time on it. For a long time anyway, maybe not all time, but Xbox sales were massive for Helldivers, where they sold a game that people wanted via their inbuilt store for the Xbox. The plan is flawed. It doesn't work. People want to either own or digitally own or digitally own the license, at least with Steam, you know what I mean? And we know where we go with this. And there are so many other good games out there as well. Honestly, I think you'd be better off taking, I think the lowest tier now is £24 or £25 in the UK. That's the lowest tier, and you get bugger all for that. You don't get, I'm not sorry, bad language, but you get nothing for that. You don't get exclusives, you don't get the new stuff coming out. You just get access to about 60 games. Take your £25 per month, stick it in the bank. The end of the year, you've got 300 quid to spend on games. Buy games you want. Don't buy Game Pass. Just take your money right out of it. They crashed the system. People were so eager to leave that they crashed the system. The system crashed. The website for returns or cancellations from Microsoft crashed because everybody cancelled. They want your wallet. Vote with your wallet. And I've said it many times. I know that really annoys some people, I think, because I occasionally when I go on about this, again, it's almost always when I get a bit of hate on the old channel. And it funnily enough, it's probably because you're hitting the right nerve with it all. I can't see any justification for it. I've tried really hard to understand the idea of subscription service like that. I mean, even movie subscriptions now are going the same way. People are getting their hands in their pockets. It's the digital dark ages we're in at the moment. Exit the digital dark ages, buy media, and give them the big one finger. It's the only way to save gaming, movies, the whole lot. Honestly, it is. Anyway, I'm going to take a bucket. We're going to take a bucket now. We'll go back to the game. Sorry, I was having a rant there. I was right on one there, wasn't I? Properly on my horse. I was like buying my bucket. I was that meme of that guy that, like, you know, Game Pass is not good for the consumer. Change my mind. That's what it was. You can try and change my mind in the comments below. I will take that on board, by the way. If it comes back next week, we're all over this, you know. So yeah. In fact, that's the thing. If you haven't subscribed and come back next week and see whether somebody's actually got a good conversation on this one. I dare you to find an answer to this. And to be fair, I did get a couple of pushbacks last time round, and I'll give them credit before we continue on with Woods of Winter. I did have some pushback. Somebody said it was really good for indies. It is and it isn't, all right? Because I did a bit more research, and you made me think about this. They said it was good for indies. It isn't good for indies now, by the way. It's so high priced, because that's what point of indie games is. They're relatively inexpensive. But they give you an opportunity to play. You know, they tend to be, because the overheads of a small developer is tiny. So if they sell 1 million copies, all of a sudden they're a millionaire in most cases. But the point is that it gives you access to indies you might not normally get to. Absolutely, totally agree. But get £3 or something similar, or $5 if you're from the US, and go on Steam and search for games for that price, and pick something you've never played before. And you know what? You get 90 minutes to try it before you can refund it. Same with GOG. I think they give you 30 days. You can refund it if you really want to. I mean, it obviously upsets the indie if you do that and you don't like it. But honestly, read the reviews, have a little look. There are some great games out there. Some of the games I've played recently, Gunsuit Guardians that I've played recently, single indie dev. It's one of the most fun I've had for ages with a Vampire Survivors-like game. It's like Megabonk, a bit more expensive, but that particular game is £2.50. And if you get an hour's worth of play out of it, you've had more value for money than you have out of nothing that you can't keep on Game Pass, which they remove and alternate the thing. Anyway. Oh, that was... Braced yourself for that, didn't you? I was right on one there. God, good grief. Right, okay, right, north. I don't know where I am anyway. I'm just going to go north. North? Can I not go north? Can't go that way. Well, you could have told me. South? Am I the flashing one? Is that what I am? Can I go that way? No. East? Or west? I'm liking this. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I've just got a bucket. Should we do number 2s in the bucket then? No. Maybe we're in the police. When we were in the police station. It's not the same thing. We're in the cells. I don't think you can do that. Well, I would try. I would like to. Can I look? What, if I look, what can I see? Look usually gives you the... It's very slow input-wise. Nothing of it... You are joking. Right, what did it say? Symbol shift and T. Redraws the thing. Oh, hang on. That's better. Do you want to see the graphic enlarged? No, I don't. Where's the exits? So you're in a dark mosque. So why couldn't you do that one? Exits are up or down? Well, let's go up then. Up. Sorry, I don't understand. Yeah, I know I don't understand either. Up. It's too dark to see. Down then. Where am I now? Symbol shift T. The staircase is low. Exits are down. Right, okay. D for down. This is going well. You can see a chain fastened to the wall. You can see a rusty chain fastened to the wall. Hang on, so am I in that flashing bit there? Okay. Symbol shift D. The steps are crumbling. It would be so much more useful if that was on the screen. The steps in the crumbling ledge above pit. Right, okay. Can see a rusty chain. Pull chain. I can't pull the chain without going back to that menu. Pull chain. It comes off in my hand. Alright, take chain. So now I've got a bucket and a chain. So obviously I've got something for a well, haven't I? You already have it. What's in my inventory? Oh, it's so slow to type. It's so slow to enter. A metal bucket and a chain. Right, okay. Yeah, this is going well. Can I go up or down here again? Is this an up or down job? You step at the edge, crumbling edge, above a pit of boiling oil. Okay, so we attach... Oh, right, okay, this is going to be interesting. Use chain on bucket. Do we use the chain on the bucket? All right. Get oil with bucket. I don't think it's here. So what have we got now in our inventory? Have we got a chain on the inventory? Tied to a chain. Right, okay. Lower, or should we just use? Should we try the old use? Use bucket on oil. Because there's an oil below us, isn't there? And below the ledge. Is there? I don't think I can do that. This is going really badly. Should we go up? Up. Can we go up? Alright, we're here now. Should we have a look again? There's some dark moss covering the spiral staircase lit from... oh, get moss. Can I get the moss? Don't think you can do that. Yeah, I'm not liking this much. Let's list it. Let's see what's on here. Yeah, I'm not impressed by that entirely. I think the big problem with that is it's not giving you the story at the same time as drawing the picture. I think if it drew the picture and gave it the story, you'd actually know what was going on, maybe? Possibly? Right, let's see if there's anything else on the tape before we close out this first episode, and you can all like and subscribe and all that rubbish. So I don't know why I'm resetting the spectrum. I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. Let's see if there's anything else to load. I don't think there will be. I've had a damn good rant there, so I'm all ranted out. Well, I'm not. You know I could go for about 3 hours. In fact, that's one of the older videos if you want to have a little look. I love the way they always do those things, though, when I disappear off for my little breaks. Whenever I have a break, there's something interesting happening in the gaming news that I really want to kind of throw something out there about. I have such a rant about those things. Spend your money how you want to spend it. I just wouldn't spend it with Microsoft. Plus, they've also got rid of Windows 10, haven't they? You know, costing, what was it? I think there was sort of 250 million tons of million tons of e-waste as a direct result of Windows 11 upgrades. Stick Linux on it. That's the answer. Go find a nice Linux distro. Use Mint. Use a few others. There's some really good ones out there. Stick that on it and last for a bit longer. If you've got the home version of Windows 10, by the way, out of interest, you get an extended license by default from Microsoft for another year. So they're not completely getting rid of it, but they're just going, oh, well, we'll give you that as a sort of a side thing anyway. Anyway, I've been your host, RealGenericDemon. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another episode. Enjoy. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.